Hello students, we are going to begin with the last chapter for standard 9th in science 1. The name of the chapter is Substances in Common Use. You are watching part 1 of the video. We'll begin this chapter with some of the questions which are based on previous knowledge. So, what are the important substances that we use in our day-to-day life and for what purposes do we use them? So, there are many substances which we use in our day-to-day life. Some of them are water. Water is the basic necessity of life, and you know that water is very important for our survival. We cannot imagine our life without water. So there are many functions that are carried out by water in our day-to-day life. Water is required for washing, bathing, drinking, cleaning, cooking, etc. Sodium chloride is yet another substance which is used in our day-to-day life. Sodium chloride is nothing but the salt that is added to a foodstuff. So you know that sodium chloride adds taste to our food. Soaps and detergents. Soap is used for bathing purpose and for maintaining hygienic conditions of the body, whereas detergents are used for cleaning the clothes. So soaps and detergents are used for cleaning and washing purpose. Toothpaste. Toothpaste is used for cleaning teeth and maintaining hygienic conditions of the mouth. So these are some of the substances that we use in our day-to-day life, and the list could be longer. For example, you can add any substance of your choice in your day-to-day life. For example, if I say natural and artificial fibers, we know that our natural and artificial fibers are used for making clothes, and we wear clothes to protect our body. Fruits, vegetables and food grains. You know that these fruits, vegetables and food grains provide us with proteins, vitamins, minerals and carbohydrates, and all these are needed for the normal functioning of our body. We use metals in our day-to-day life. We use acids, bases and salts in our day-to-day life. And how are the various substances that we use in our day-to-day life classified from scientific point of view? All the substances that we use are classified into metals, non-metals, compounds, mixtures, acids, bases and salts. There are many substances which we use in our day-to-day life. So some substances are given to you. For example, table salt, soap, toothpaste, baking soda, water, curds, milk, alum, iron, sulfur, washing powder. What we have to do is we have to classify all these given substances into acids, bases, metals, non-metals and salts. So here you can see groups are already made, that is you can see the tabular form which is already made. So let us try to put all these substances under the correct group or the correct category. So table salt is a salt. Soap, toothpaste. Soap and toothpaste are bases. Baking soda actually can be put under the group of bases also as well as salts also. So it can come under the category of both bases and salts. So I have added it under the group of bases. Water and curds, water is a neutral substance. So water will not come under any of these category. Water is neither an acid nor a base. It is neither a metal nor a non-metal. It is not a salt. So water will not come under any of these categories. Curds and milk are acids. Alum यानी फिरटी या तुरटी is a salt. Iron is a metal. Sulfur is a non-metal. Washing powder is a base. Children, in chapter number 5, acids, bases and salts, we have learnt how salts are formed. So these are some of the examples of salts. So I have taken few examples like sodium chloride, sodium sulfate, copper sulfate, calcium chloride. Now you will find that these salts are ionic compounds. Ionic compounds are those compounds which contain a positively charged ion called as cation and a negatively charged ion called as anion. The salts do not contain H plus ions, that is hydrogen ions, and OH minus ions, that is hydroxyl ions. But all salts definitely contain one kind of cation and an anion. For example, if you say sodium chloride contains sodium ion, that is Na plus ion. This is the cation because you see it's a positively charged ion, and Cl minus ion, which is an anion because Cl minus is a negatively charged ion. Similarly, sodium sulfate Na2SO4. You know, when you cross the valencies, you get the formula, right? So if the formula of sodium sulfate is Na2SO4, and if we are crossing the valencies, it means that the valency of sulfate is 2 and the valency of sodium is 1. So here you can see there is a plus charge on sodium. So sodium sulfate contains plus 1 charge on its ion, that is Na plus ion, and sulfate ion, that is SO4 2 minus ion. Copper sulfate carries a charge of 2 plus and sulfate ion carries a charge of 2 minus. So the cation in copper sulfate is Cu2 plus and the anion is SO4 2 minus. Calcium chloride. Calcium carries a charge of 2 plus, so calcium ion is a cation and Cl minus chloride ion is an anion. Salts are ionic compounds. They do not contain H plus and OH minus ions, but they contain one kind of cation and anion, right? So the ionic compounds which do not contain H plus and OH minus ions and contain only one kind of cation and anion are called as simple salts. Some of the examples of salts are sodium chloride, sodium sulfate, potassium phosphate, etc. Inorganic salts occur naturally in the form of salts rather than in the form of acids and bases. About 80 million tons of salts are added every year to seawater. So seawater is a storehouse of a lot of mineral salts. The names of some of the salts are sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, magnesium sulfate, potassium chloride, calcium carbonate, magnesium bromide. In fact, sea is said to be a rich source of salts. So sea is a rich source of several salts of various elements such as sodium, magnesium, potassium, chlorine, calcium, magnesium, bromine, etc. However, we also use other salts apart from all these salts which are found in seawater in our day-to-day use. This is the universal indicator solution. This solution is a mixture of various indicators, and the universal indicator solution is used to determine whether the given solution is acidic, basic or neutral. So suppose I am given 7 different solutions in a beaker. I don't know the names of the solutions. All the solutions are colorless in nature. So I want to identify whether the given solution is acidic, basic or neutral. So what I have to do is, in the beakers, 2 to 3 drops of universal indicator solution is to be added. Note the color change shown by the solution in each of the beaker. Here you will see that in beaker A the solution has become reddish, in beaker B it is orange, in beaker C yellow, beaker D green, E is light blue, F is dark blue, and in beaker G the solution has become purple or violet in color. Now with the help of the color change which is shown by the solution, we can identify that whether the given substance is acidic, basic or neutral with the help of this strip which is called as the pH scale. Here you will find that the pH scale ranges from 1 to 14. If the pH of the solution ranges between 1 to 7, that means that the given solution is acidic in nature. If the pH of the solution is exactly equal to 7, that means the solution is neutral in nature. And if the pH of the solution ranges from 7 to 14, it means that the solution is alkaline or basic in nature. So, if the color change shown by the solution in A, B and C is red, orange and yellow, you compare these colors with the pH scale. So, or red color means the pH of the solution is equal to 1. So, solution A is acidic in nature. Orange color of solution B matched with the pH scale. This is the color which matches with the color of the solution. So pH of solution B is equal to 2. So solution B is also acidic in nature. Solution C is yellowish in color. So you match this color with the pH scale. You can say that this is the color which is matching with the color of the solution in beaker C. So pH of solution in beaker C is equal to 4. So solution in beaker C is also acidic in nature. This is green color. Green color means here you can say that the pH is equal to, this is little darkish green. pH of the solution D is 7. That means solution is neutral in nature. Blue color, light blue color of solution E indicates that this solution must be having pH equal to 9. So this solution is basic or alkaline in nature. Dark blue color, here you can see, compare the color, you can say that the pH is equal to 12. So the solution is basic in nature. Purple color, you can say that this is the purple color, pH of this solution will be is equal to 14, which indicates that this solution is also basic in nature. So with the help of universal indicator solution, we can identify whether the given solution is acidic, basic or neutral in nature. Suppose you are given concentrated solutions of table salt, soap, washing soda, baking powder, plaster of Paris, and you are asked to find out whether the given solutions are acidic, basic or neutral in nature. How will you do it? Of course, with the help of pH indicator solution. When water is added to all these salts, the solutions are colorless in nature, except for plaster of Paris, which is white in color. When 2 to 3 drops of universal indicator solution are added to each of these solutions, these are the color changes which are recorded in the test tube or in the beaker. Table salt solution acquires a green color when universal indicator solution is added to it. And if you compare this green color with the help of this pH scale, you will find that the pH of this table salt solution will be equal to 7, which means that the solution is neutral in nature. So solution becomes greenish blue. The pH of the solution ranges from 7.5 to 9. So soap solution is basic in nature. Washing soda solution acquires a purple color, and the purple color is, it shows a pH equal to 11, indicating that the pH of the solution, indicating that the solution is basic in nature. Baking soda is again green in color. The pH of the solution is 8.1, so the solution is basic in nature. Baking powder solution becomes blue. pH is recorded to be 8.5, and you know that greater than 7 pH means the solution is basic in nature. Plaster of Paris solution becomes greenish in color. Green color, this color has pH equal to 7, and you know that when the pH of the solution is equal to 7, the solution is neutral in nature. So what is the name of the strip shown here? The name of the strip is pH meter scale. And what is its use? It is used to measure the pH of a solution by means of the color change which is shown by the solution. So how can we determine whether the given substance is acidic, basic or neutral? Definitely with the help of universal indicator solution. When universal indicator solution is added to a given solution, the color of the solution will change according to the pH of the solution. If the pH of the solution ranges from 1 to 3, it means that the solution is a strong acid, and the color change shown by the solution will be red. If the pH of the solution ranges from 3 to 6, it is an acid, because pH from 1 to 7 means the solution is an acid. The color change shown by the solution will be yellow to orange or orange to yellow. So the shade of the solution will be yellowish or orangish. If the pH of the solution is exactly equal to 7, the solution is neutral in nature and the color of the solution will be green. If the pH is greater than 7, it means that the solution is alkaline or basic in nature. If the pH ranges from 8 to 11, the solution is a base. The color change will be blue. If the pH of the solution is on the higher side, that is 11 to 14, it means that the solution is a very strong base. The color change shown by the solution will be violet or purple. Chapter number 5, we have learned that salts are of three types: neutral salt, acidic salt, and basic salt. A neutral salt is formed by reaction between strong acid and strong base. Acidic salt is formed by reaction between a strong acid and a weak base. A basic salt is formed by reaction between a weak acid and a strong base. Also, pH of neutral salt is equal to 7, pH of acidic salt is less than 7, and pH of basic salt is more than 7.